Good evening. Hope all is as well as can be, in spite of all the madness around us. But hey, there's nothing new about that. We as a people have gone through this, and our ancestors have taught us to thrive, to get through it, and to do more than hold on. We get through it and often don't show it, and people think we're not concerned, but we are. We just know that we are not attached to the outcome. And we also understand that all of this hate before us. The people that are hating and being petty and showing injustice don't even like each other. They just share the same ignorance, which is hate. Hate is the bastard child of ignorance. And some people just won't learn. And that's no longer my issue. But I was sitting here, as I've said before, editing. Now there you have it, to build on it. This was just a skeleton. I learned later on that I had just purged a lot of thoughts and put them together, and I published without editing. I was just getting it off me. So now I'm going to make it something easier to read. Although it's not hard to read, it's just the punctuation is just horrible. Anyway, this is from my journal. I journal a lot. And when I journal, I walk away from it. And then I come back to it to see what I read, to examine it. Because if I examine it immediately after I write it, I'm not going to get anything out of it. Or I'm not going to get what I feel I should get out of it. There's no depth to it for me. So this journal, I own my journey. What we take in and process through our physical, emotional, and spiritual experiences is reflected in the footprint we leave behind. I don't accept death on the same level as most people. I believe the soul or spirit inhabits a physical body for a period of time and simply moves on to another expression. The infinite presence gave humans a mind, and the choices we make determine how the physical expression will be enjoyed. Those that came before me have left footprints to guide me, and I trust them because of the lives they lived. None were perfect or self-righteous. That sainthood is recognized at the first glimpse. We are all saints at some point. Yet the life victories are the result of the steady path they took. I can see the handprints from when they failed and had to push themselves up. And I see the skid marks from when life dragged them along, yet no, they held on. I see the invisible handprints that lifted them when the knee and handprints were so deep that sinking was obvious. Invisible helping hands of hope I call faith, or the presence of the infinite presence. Physical exhaustion is observed at some points because the footprints are heavy yet still steady. Mental exhaustion is observed as I sometimes notice a handprint in front or alongside a front print and understand the other hand is wiping a brow or drying a tear. The journey is clear, just as each rest stop that an ancestor has made is clear. I can tell if they stopped and refueled, or if in a state of weariness they lingered. There are stops that make me think an ancestor mistook the respite as their final destination, because the footprints and butt prints are etched much too deep for a pit stop. And the extra prints indicate that someone stopped by and left a word. It is clear that they moved on, but the way is not. It is clear that they moved on, but the way is not. It is clear that they moved on, but the why is not. Maybe a word from a passerby encouraged them to move on, or they observed and experienced something so discouraging that a spark was reignited and moving on was the only option. The good times are also quite obvious, and the prints are ever so light etched on the surface. The more joy being enjoyed, the lighter the footprints. So I stop and look at the footprints that influence my life, and look down and see if mine are in sync with those that came before. Sometimes they are, yet most of the time they are not. I realized that I had just strayed from a beaten path and had followed close enough to gain some knowledge from their experience, yet had been confident enough to tread my own path. There were times when my path was totally different, and it had nothing to do with confidence. I obviously learned from every unwise turn and pit stop because my footsteps indicated a steady gait in more places than I would have imagined. I smiled and looked back in hopes that I have left footprints that are positive lessons and sound directions for those behind me and yet to come. I look down to ensure I am maintaining a steady gait that moves to the rhythm of my own heart, and smile knowing that I own my journey.